Hello, my name's Norrms. I'd just like to answer the replies that I got from the end of life care video. I got plenty of replies and thank you so much for all those that replied to it. I'd like to say that about 95% of those who replied said thank you, thanks for doing it. And I believe that some people are actually using it in training now because it's a subject that needs to be addressed, a subject that needs to be talked about, and it's something that needs to be brought out in the opening. 3% of the replies I get were from people who weren't comfortable with the video and who weren't comfortable with some of the things I said. For that, I would like to say I'm truly sorry. I apologise if I upset anybody, but I do respect your views with the utmost respect, because we're all different, and if we weren't, it'd be such a boring world, wouldn't it? So thank you for your replies. I like to get replies and feedback, both bad and good, so I know that I do things just right. The interesting thing that came out of it was from the 2%. As some of you know, you saw a letter from a friend of mine who we'll call Bernadette, because she asked for total anonymity. And as you read, she's having a heck of a time at the moment, because of a family member who has Alzheimer's. What I did find out from that letter and other people I've spoken to is sometimes there's not enough spoken about when it's coming to the end of life and when they're in late stages, dementia, not just Alzheimer's, and dementia, Lewy bodies in particular, because they're more prone to hallucinations and things like that. And I found that sometimes it's the carers and loved one who become the abused and not the people or the clients or the people with the diagnosis who are being abused. This might not sit comfortably with some, because I know there's probably so many people out there that are putting up with this abuse from people who have dementia and from people who they're looking for who have dementia. I know from personal experience from my father and my grandmother how hurtful these things that can be said and how hurtful these can be. Excuse me. And I know just exactly what you're going through. And I don't mean to do this video to remind you of the things you're going through. I mean to do this video to say that you're not on your own, and we know that things like this goes on, and there are places you can talk about things like this. There are places you can go for to help. There's talking points, the Alzheimer's Society. That's a fantastic forum. There's a Lewy Bodies site. There's the Alzheimer's Society themselves. There's Dementia UK. There's a lot of people out there that can help and will help you. I wasn't overwhelmed or surprised about the amount of people that said they were being abused by family, by loved ones, and by people they care for. Not just physically, but mentally as well. Because it's all part of the illness, and sometimes it's hard to separate the illness from the loved one. It's hard to separate remembering the times that you've had with these loved ones, to the people they've actually turned into. But you must remember, it's the illness that's talking, and it's not them. While I do appreciate some things like this are very hard to talk about, I think they do need talking about it, just as they do the end of life care. I think there's a need to talk about this. It doesn't have to be held in the shadows anymore. It's all part of the illness. Having personal experience with this and with my father and my grandmother, I can say hand on heart that I know what you're going through. On the other side of the coin, I now have dementia, and I now know that there is a possibility that, as cool, calm and collected as I am, I've seen people who are just like me, who've never raised a hand in anger, who's hardly ever raised a voice in temper, but when they've been diagnosed with dementia, when they've gone further down the road, they've turned into a totally different person. Plans are made within my family that if this actually happens, then action will be taken and I will be put somewhere safe and secure so that I don't upset my family and friends. And I know that people who are looking after people and loved ones now who are going through this, and it's easier said than done. I know it is, but this is the reason why I'm making this video. I'm saying these things now, that I am sure that the hard times that they're going through at home, the hard times that the family and friends are going through, are they sometimes more at ease when they get put into respite? Ask the nursing homes, when you have them in respite, are they happier there? Because if they're happier there than what they are at home, and it's less stressful at home for you when they are there, then I think the answer's there right in front of you. I don't by any means condone putting people into care and putting them into homes willy-nilly and just because they've lost their temper, a little bit of things like that. But I think there's got to be a time when you do recognise that it's got to be best all round for people to ask somebody to come and help, ask for advice. This is why these people are there. This is why these people are there to help. I know that my family already, if that does happen, I'm not saying it will, and it does happen to me, but I know they're all prepared and plans like this are put in place, and that's why we do it. And that's why we have social services, that's why we have memory clinics, and that's why we have community psychiatric nurses, or CPNs as sometimes they're called. I for one don't like the little short names, because I think half the time they don't realise they're saying it, and half the time I don't think they realise that we don't understand what it means. All these shortening letters are shortening words. I think proper explanation serves everybody a lot better. So that's more or less it really. That's the things that I did find out from the end of life care video, and the 2% is the part that I wanted to address. If any of you are out there at the moment and you're having to go through this awful thing, I'd just like to say please, please, please don't be frightened of asking for help. There is help out there, and if you do get a little bit fobbed off, ask, and ask again, because I know there is help out there, and I know there's some good people out there, and there's some good forums out there that will listen to you and that will advise you with the best advice. Thank you for listening. As always, your friend's Norrms, with a big smile. Thank you. Bye.